People can write us off if they really want to. I'm not dumb enough to do that.
I'm saying it right now. The Bengals and Joe Burrow are not dead.
He's got it! Touchdown!
And Joe Burrow is playing some of the best football of his career.
We just got to refocus this week and find a way to get a win.
Like sometimes it's those bounces in the course of a long season that can shape where you're at.
I still think they got a shot.
The safety! Big tackle! Derrick Henry!
Next play, next opportunity. Let's go.
Offensively, we're motivated.
Relentless. Everything we do, every time we touch the ball, every time we block, everything we do relentless, man.
Having a lot of fun on Sunday Night Football.
Primetime football, man. You can't ask for nothing better.
We're off to New York. Joe Burrow and the Bengals, can they revive the season?
It's a primetime opportunity in Week 6 as the Bengals look to bring the jungle storm to the concrete jungle. Welcome in to Bengals Weekly. I'm Marisa Contipelli. Cue the Carrie Underwood Sunday Night Football anthem because we have a primetime showdown in the Big Apple. And we still have a little bit longer to wait before kickoff on Sunday night, so we're going to get you set right here for Bengals vs. Giants in Week 6. Before we move on to this week's game, however, we're going to take you down to field level and listen in as we had the mics hot against Baltimore. Chris Collinsworth joins the show and tells us what he likes about this Bengals team. And on Countdown, I'll tell you just how efficient the Bengals have been in red zone opportunities this season. But first, despite the Bengals sitting at 1-4, 5 games into the season, there's no panic or doubt or quit coming from this team. The focus has been to take it one day, one game at a time, as the Bengals are eager to seize the primetime opportunity ahead of them on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're not where we want to be right now.
And Baltimore wins a beauty against the Bengals.
It's time to get back on track. That's the main thing, is get back on track, get a win, move on to next week and do the same thing over and over and over again.
Teams are going to falter week to week if you just consistently try to get better day to day. I think that's the recipe for success. As long as everybody in this building is coming to work with the idea that they need to get better today, I think we'll be all right.
I know the kind of man we got, just the way we just come to work each and every day. So the way we prepared last week, the way we battled last week told me enough about the guys we got in the room.
If your back is against the wall, you're definitely more locked into the details, not letting anything little, slip past our fingers.
We're focused on doing the little things right.
Starting today and just really diving into the game plan, making sure all the details are right, making sure, when we have the opportunities that we're able to take advantage of them.
Just stay focused, stay locked in, stay relentless at the end of the day, and it's all going to work out. I truly believe that, and we got a big week ahead.
Comes down to the little things. There's no big picture change. It's everyone doing the little things differently, and we're going to win each game week by week. That's the focus.
We've been in these spots before, not quite this one, but, we've come out better on the other end. All you can do is get back to practice and continue to try to get better.
You can pull yourself out of it, but it takes consistent effort, a group mindset to never fold, and I'm just trying to share the lessons I learned about how to get through adverse times like this.
Even at 1-4, I'm not ready to write off Cincinnati.
And I don't think this team is out of it at 1-4.
We're 1-4, that is what it is. All we can do is focus on this next game. I think everyone's definitely all in on that.
There's no time to let up. We're sitting at 1-4. We have everything in front of us, but we have to take care of Sunday and see where it goes from there.
Times get hard, your character is revealed, and times are hard right now, and I've seen guys in this locker room stick together, rally together. It's a long season, and we got a lot of ball to play. Yeah, it's a primetime game, first of all, so that's a huge opportunity for us to show who we are, get back right on the right foot. Just making it about us, The Giants is who we got to play, but it's about us and what we do, and that's the message going forward.
That'll be big for us. Obviously, going up there to a tough environment, primetime game, we have an opportunity to show the world that, we can really make a run. And guys in here have to believe that, number one, and we do.
That's just my thing, you know what I mean?
That's right, we hand the mic over to Chase Brown and the guys as we take you down to field level against the Ravens. That's straight ahead here on Bengals Weekly. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals, and Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. It's now time for us to take you under the helmet and onto the sidelines as we bring you as close to the action as it gets. Here is this week's mic'd up sounds of the game against Baltimore.
Yoshi, you're actually a dude, bro. There's a flag of you, bro. There's a flag of you. Somebody has a flag of you, bro, yeah. Like right there, yeah. Be a dog every play. Be a dog. Come on, let's go. Let's go, baby. Come on. Yup. Come on. Oh my God, that was close. I'm telling you. That was close. I'm telling you that was close.
1st and 10 from the 26. They toss it to Chase Brown. He's to the 30, 35, 40, and pulled down at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, come on now.
So you get that ball to the rim because he looked at you crazy.
Okay.
Do it afterwards.
No, that's just my thing, you know what I mean? Like.
Burrow hands it off. By Chase Brown. He'll run for a dozen.
Hey guys, it's a AFC North slobber knocker. Every play matters. It's got to be physical. Your best effort, your most violent physical effort. Every play. That's what it's going to take. Keep the metal down.
On 1st and 10 from their own 2, the Ravens line up in an I formation. It's a safety. They tackle Derrick Henry.
Nice.
Sam Hubbard tackles the King in the end zone. 2 points for the Bengals.
How about a great call by Luan Wilma? Not at all. They didn't block anybody. Remember them having a couple of series ago too. Yeah.
Harris snaps it back. Burrow looks. Nice. Caught. It's a touchdown. Yes, Chase Brown.
Yes. Great protection on that touchdown series out. Keep that. First Joe Burrow touchdown ball.
Last week, the Bengals celebrated their annual Crucial Catch game, honoring and recognizing those who have and are currently battling the fight against cancer. One special Bengals fan's fight resonated with the organization as Joey Chuley showed all those around him how strong his fight was.
There was a very clear before and after.
You know, life was going pretty good. We just moved to Ohio from Phoenix up to Troy, and then Joey started to get sick.
I took him to the doctor, and I remember she said, "Oh, somebody's not feeling well." And she looked at Joe, and she looked at me, and she said, "I'm gonna be right back." A little bit after 6, I got a phone call, and she said, "We only have the first 3 numbers of his blood count back, but the Dayton Children's ER is waiting for you."
What they told us with his type of leukemia, generally kids don't get into remission in the first 30 days. By the grace of God, he did. And actually staying there this whole time, right? He's, 2 years away now from being considered
a survivor.
He's got a never quit attitude. He wanted to get better and play football. I mean, that was his biggest thing. He talked about it all through the treatment.
He missed that intro, preschool, kindergarten, 1st grade, playing ball with the neighbors and the kids. And now he gets to do something even better.
Oh my God, Joe meets Joe. Can you sign my shirt and my ball?
I got you, bro.
Joe meets Joe, there you go.
Your name's Joe too?
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I got you.
When he first said he wanted to play tackle football, I was like, nope. Broken bones, bruises, I don't know where they came from. I'm like, no, we have spent enough time in the hospital. We are not doing this. But if we hadn't done all that, he wouldn't even have that choice.
I have half of the team.
This is like an exclamation point at the end of a long sentence, so to speak, right? I mean, this is a huge celebration.
As we now welcome cancer survivors for a special bell ringing ceremony.
He's going to get to celebrate with a bunch of fans and get out there and ring the bell.
Cincinnati, you know what to say. Say it with us. Joey, ring that bell.
I don't even know if I would handle things as well as he handled things throughout all the journey that he went through. You know, his resolve and his attitude are like things that I actually looked to, and I was like, wow, somebody of this age to have that type of acumenship was like really, really amazing and a blessing. Every day's a gift, and that's how we live. And you know, when I see him now and I see him running around, it gives me great joy and great happiness to see that he's living his life, because life is to be lived every single day to its fullest.
When we return, we check in with Chris Collinsworth, who will be in the booth Sunday night, as he gives us his preview of Bengals versus Giants. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. He's not only one of the most prolific Bengals to have ever suited up in team history, he's also one of the most distinguished announcers in the game, and his slide, well, that's simply iconic. We now welcome in Chris Collinsworth, who joins Dan Horde to preview this Sunday night matchup.
Sunday Night Football is the biggest show on TV, and we are joined by one of the guys in the booth every Sunday night for NBC, our buddy Chris Collinsworth. When you watch Jamar and T, is it like you're watching aliens?
You know, they go up, and you see both of them. They go up and catch it, and, you know, yank it down back into their bodies, and they're so powerful at the catch point.
Chris, Joe Burrow told reporters this week he's still not completely satisfied with the way that he's throwing the ball coming back from wrist surgery, specifically mentioned spin rate. When you hear him say that, are you amused that it's not up to his own high standards?
Yeah, I think it says a lot. And the fun part for me is they're reflecting back on an era with Kenny Anderson. So for Joe Burrow now to be sort of in that class and help me remember what Kenny Anderson is all those sorts of things is really fun. But that's a very high standard. I think Kenny Anderson is arguably the most accurate thrower of the football that the league has ever seen.
They signed Orlando Brown Jr. last year. They drafted Amarius Mims this year. Is the offensive line the best that Joe Burrow has had? And what do you think of the way that they performed so far this year?
I think they're good. I do think they're good. And some of that goes because of Joe Burrow. I mean, I hate to do this, but the guy gets the ball out of his hands. And when he faces a defense like the Giants, which is much more of a zone, that's dangerous space when you're playing against Jamar Chase. You know, you give him a 5-yard completion and he's trotting in the end zone somewhere.
Let's turn to the Bengals defense. In weeks 1 and 2, they gave up 29 points. They were performing pretty well in those first couple of weeks, but they've really struggled over the last 3. What are the things that you consider to be fixable?
It's a great offense. That may be the best team in football if they ever get their defense together, you know. If you're going to have that many new faces on the back end, you better have your pass rush together. And we know without Sheldon Rankins and without some of these guys that have been in and out of the lineup, it's been harder to do that too.
Chris, always great to visit with you. We know you and Mike Tirico will have a great call on Sunday night. Thanks so much for your time and look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
All right, buddy. Good talking to you, Dan.
This fall, the Bengals have teamed up with Ohio Cat to bring the jungle to you. Every Friday during the high school football season, we will be out at a different high school football game, cheering on our local teams. Last month, Houday and the Bengals were out at Kings High School as the Knights hosted the Lebanon Warriors. Students and fans had the opportunity to take pictures with Houday, show off their best school spirit, and win great prizes. Rule your school and be on the lookout for Friday night stripes, because the Bengals and Ohio Cat could be coming to your game next. Day Nation, it's time to recognize our high school coaches. Nominate your coach for the Bengals Coach of the Week presented by Paycor. Visit Bengals.com/Coach of the Week for more information. Coming up next, it's Contipelli's Countdown, where I'll tell you what T. Higgins and Jamar Chase accomplished last week that hasn't been done in team history in almost 40 years. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. And Alta Fiber, the official Wi-Fi and internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. Joe Burrow has been playing some of his best football as he has the offense clicking, posting over 30 points in 3 straight games. And over the last 2 weeks, the offense has taken advantage of their opportunities. The Bengals are a perfect 6 for 6 in the red zone in the last 2 games, and on the season, ranked 5th overall in the league. And over the last 2 weeks, well, the Bengals have scored a touchdown on 4 consecutive offensive possessions. It's the first time this has been done in team history since 1985, and they're the first team across the league to do it since 2018. Joe Burrow connected with Jamar Chase twice for long-distance touchdowns last week, making it the 3rd straight game the pair has linked up for a 40-plus yard score. Since 2020, Burrow leads the league in touchdown passes of 40 or more yards, as his 23 are the most by any QB in their first 5 seasons since 1990. And the 5 touchdowns that Burrow threw in Week 5 marked a new career high for the quarterback. And with 2 of those touchdowns going to T. Higgins last week, it marked the 5th multi-touchdown game of Higgins' career. His 9 receptions tied a career high, as on the season, T is averaging over 9 yards per catch, with 13 of his 18 receptions resulting in a first down. Since 2020, Higgins ranks in the top 25 league-wide in receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and yards per reception. And with Higgins and Chase each recording over 80 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns, it marked the 2nd time in franchise history where multiple players hit those marks. The only other time it happened was in 1976. Well, Sunday is only the 12th meeting all-time between the Bengals and the Giants. The only team Cincinnati has faced fewer times is Carolina. And historically, these 2 teams seem to play some nail-biters. The Bengals lead the series 6-5, but 9 of the 11 meetings have been decided by a touchdown or less, with 5 of the last 6 being decided by 3 or fewer points. But New York has never beaten Cincinnati by more than 7 points. And the Giants have struggled this season at home. They are winless at MetLife Stadium, averaging only 10.5 points in those outings. Daniel Jones has yet to throw a touchdown at home, as all 3 of his interceptions on the year have been at MetLife. He has also posted just a 62 passer rating in those contests. Contipelli's Countdown is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. To learn more, visit kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. It's now time for this week's Kettering Health Fantasy Report. Jamar Chase now leads all receivers in fantasy scoring on the season. His 41 points in Week 5 marked a season high and was the most among all players for the week, thanks to his 10 receptions for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns. Uno has recorded 5 touchdowns over the last 3 games. T. Higgins finished Week 5 as the 4th highest scoring receiver, posting over 29 points after recording 9 catches for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. And for New York, Malik Neighbors has had a strong rookie campaign, averaging over 22 fantasy points per outing. Neighbors had posted 3 straight 23-point performances before sitting out last week due to injury. Thanks for tuning in to Bengals Weekly. Kickoff between the Bengals and the Giants is coming up on Sunday nights. For Dan Horde and our entire crew, I'm Marisa Contipelli. We'll see you next week. Bengals Weekly was brought to you by Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. AltaFiber, the official Wi-Fi and internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. And Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals.